Is Season 8 worth coming back to? By now, many dedicated competitive players have been quitting the game or just quitting ranked because they were fed up with the changes. Between the dive meta making the life of support mains a living nightmare to the mercy meta doing that for everyone who does not inherently love holding left click while watching bars get topped off, there were a lot of reasons for players to quit. So with Season 7 coming to an end, the question arises, is Season 8 worth coming back to? And why should you consider it if you quit a few seasons back? Well, a couple of days ago I published my prepare for Season 8 video that should get you up to snuff when it comes to all the necessary information you need about Season 8, as well as some tips for the best possible experience in my opinion. But if you have been living under a rock for the past while, the reason Season 8 is such a big deal to so many players is because they are removing the performance-based SR adjustment in Diamond and above. Now initially I did not realize how big of a deal that would be until I started getting back into ranked myself. Suffice to say that in the past few days I've spent more time on ladder playing on my main account than I did on my old for the entirety of this season. And no, I am not salty about the fact that I placed at 39.98 and was 1 win away from GM no less than 3 times, but then getting into losing streaks every single time because the end of the season is probably the worst possible time to be playing competitive, period. Nope, not mad at all. At any rate, in my initial coverage of the Season 8 change, I came to the conclusion that, in the grand scheme of things, it would not do a lot. Because ultimately, your SR gains are still tied to your MMR, and some of the biggest issues come from how your MMR is being calculated to date. However, I have now learned how big of a deal that actually is. You know, I'm watching a lot of live streams, and those usually feature players of very high skill levels. They know the ins and outs of this video game, so issues like gaining little SR for poor performance does not usually arise. And that was not an issue I had to deal with either before, because back when I was actively playing, I could easily get away with always just playing Zenyatta and Lucio, meaning I never really suffered poor SR gains for not doing well. Well, cue Season 7 and my efforts of trying to be a good teammate in a matchmaking system that consistently tosses me into games with an overabundance of support players, and suddenly I am feeling the pain on a regular basis. The pain of the flex player, that is. While I can play a pretty mean diva on occasion, my performance on tanks is inconsistent at best. So put me into a situation where I'm trying to allow the entirety of my team to play their best heroes, meaning I have to suck it up and play Reinhardt, and suddenly we have a match that we may have managed to win, but left me as the only player on the team that had below average statistics. Something that would have not happened if I insisted on playing Zenyatta or Moira, but likely then wouldn't have resulted in us winning the match in the first place. So to give you a TLDR here, I, as a support player, try to make up for Blizzard's trashy matchmaker that puts us into a match of too many support players. I try to be a good teammate and allow the others to play their best heroes, end up playing a hero I am bad at because it puts me into a situation that at least allows me to win the game if I do, and I'm greeted by a mere 16 SR as a result. Now, for the sake of having players not get carried into ratings they don't deserve, that makes a whole lot of sense. But remember, the performance-based SR adjustment is merely an acceleration tool. SR gains are still hinged on my MMR. It is unlikely that these occasional matches where I fill for the team will impact my MMR in any significant way, and your MMR only increases when you win a match anyway. Meaning that immediately penalizing a player for, well, being a team player is part of the reason why so few people want to be team players in the first place. So in a world that is called Season 8, I will be getting a more regular amount of SR for this game, and that is a big deal, because players don't have to second guess themselves anymore before picking something up that might win them the game, but leave them with shabby statistics. And after having experienced this excessively in the past couple of days, I would even agree that this is something that should be implemented in lower ratings. Don't get me wrong though, for everybody who's looking to rank up as fast as possible, this system is great, because you can outright abuse it by becoming really good on just a couple of heroes. But not everyone is looking to do something like that. Others just want to plain and simply play the video game. They want to be good players and good teammates who fill for their team when need be and not feel punished for it. It is possible that this is kind of a test drive for Blizzard and that we might see them adapt this ladder-wide by Season 10 or 11, which I know sounds like an unjustifiably long time, but that's my guess given how long it took them to roll it out just for Diamond and above. It seems like they take a very close look at a lot of data before making decisions like that. Now, the downside is obviously that we are not expecting any massive changes to some of the most dreaded meta trends in competitive history, namely Mercy's must-pick status and what is lovingly referred to as the spam meta featuring Junkrat. If those things bother you massively, which trust me, I get it, no, Season 8 is not worth coming back to. But if you are a player in Diamond and above and you are not a support main that hates playing Mercy, yes, I would highly suggest for you guys to give Season 8 a shot. But this concludes today's video on my recommendation and explanation for why I would or wouldn't suggest that Season 8 is worth coming back to. As always, leave all of your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. But until then, thank you everybody so much for watching, don't forget to drop me a like on your way out if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I hope to see you all next time.